Hello, buddy. All right. All right. Well, welcome to the Mikestand. I hope everybody's having a good day. Of course, before we get going here, I'll of course. Well, I don't know. I know it looks like he went off camera for a moment, but there he is.
I'm just
All right. Sounds like we got an echo going somewhere there. Thought we. All right. Speak, RJ, please.
am I echoing?
I guess
Or
it
are you
could.
echoing?
Oh, all right. Anyways, well, tonight is Sunday, May 4th. So, anyways, before we get started, I'm gonna have RJ introduce himself, and if you want to share any links, any promotions, um, go for it.
Oh, I'm muting my mic because
Sorry, I'm trying to fix it.
we're looping we're feedbacking over here. But hi, I am RJ Carter. I'm the senior managing editor here at criticalblast.com, where we publish books and distribute all your crowdfunded books. So we are here to help you get new comics and make new comics.
Okay. Anything more you want to say? You want to share any links or anything like that?
Just criticalblast.com. If you've got a comic that you want to put out or you want to find out what we're doing, everything is right there and all in one spot. And we are Critical Blast at all social media sites.
All right. All right. Well, with that being said, so tonight we're gonna be going over comics that went on sale in May of 1940 from Fiction House. Um, RJ will be joining me tonight. We will be, reading through the comics and giving some commentary, and also, of course, doing the voices. You guys know how all that goes. Um, Unfortunately, I did just find out just before the show here, and RJ, due to his other commitments, this will be his last show for a while. So we're gonna miss him. So we're gonna miss him. I always appreciate his input and all that, but I know that sometimes people have to do things. So
I'm just buried. I'm just buried under work.
Yeah.
Which is, not bad, but it's pulling the focus.
Yeah. All right. So with that though, but I do hope you will get some enjoyment out of this. So even your wife can't convince you to stay on, huh?
Oh no, I mean I always enjoy the show. It's just it there's always other stuff that I got to be doing, and it just doesn't seem to let up.
Yeah. All right. Well, you're always welcome back. But anyways, I know we should have probably just thrown all this towards the end. But anyways, why don't we get into why we're here in the first place, right? Get into some comics here.
Why are we here? Philosophers have been debating this for thousands of years.
Well, let's pull up for our first book that we're going to go over tonight, which will be, of course, Jumbo Comics number 17. Let's see, the most of the best, and you still want to do the narration, RJ?
I will continue to do the narration.
All right. Want to read all that?
Oh, we're ready now. Usually you have like an intro of the characters and stuff.
Huh?
I'm used to you having an introduction of who's going to be in the show or in the book before we go on. But here, let's move on. We are going to be reading Sheena, Queen of the Jungle in Cannibal Fury. I can hear the Johnny Weissmuller drums going now. Along with the Hawk, Stuart Taylor's ZX5 Spies in Action. All of this and more in Jumbo Comics.
Sorry, I think I'm just was taken aback by what you told me. It's probably why I'm a little out of it, but
What are fish comics? Oh, this is something new. This is a new ad. Somebody's playing with the scans here.
yeah, well, I think this is just how they scanned it in.
So, Sheena, Queen of the Jungle by Morgan Thomas. A Maasai runner, carrying a note on the head of his red-draped lance, approaches Sheena's village. I came from Ikoma, Bwana Donton. Give me much Malabiana to bring Barba to Bwana Reynolds. We're just making up words as we go now here.
Kirk Dutton, Kirk Dutton, he gave you much Malva, Malaya, Buana. Yeah, it's Kirk. It's Kirk, all right. Still throwing money around. Let's see. All right. Yeah, I think. Listen, Sheena. I'll get a fancy price for a live bull, ape. Expect me at your village on Ramadan. Ramadan? That's the Muslim fast day. Next month, the old. Wait. Oh, I'm sorry. It's
Go
no.
him.
All right. Ramadan, that's the Muslim fast day. Next month. The old dogs, I haven't seen him in years.
Meanwhile, at an African coast town, Kirk Dunton, hunter, speaks to his sister and a friend. I'll leave at the crack of dawn tomorrow. The Dutch government is paying me a fortune to bring in a big ape. Heaven knows we need the money.
If you meet Reynolds, you should be successful. Yes, Bob knows his way around in the dark forest. Give the darling my love, and tell him to come home once in a while. Good luck, Kirk.
I doubt if he'll come back, but I'm sure he'll be glad to hear from you, Karen.
Oh boy, I don't know if that's his mother or if that maybe that's another romantic interest there, but wonder
Supposed to be
how
his
she might
sister.
feel that he's hanging around with Sheena.
Yeah, it's supposed to be his sister.
Oh, okay. Let's see. Yeah, I guess start with just we go down and then we go back up.
Okay. Bonda, a Burmese servant, eavesdrops. He hears their plans. Cautiously, he steals out to a dark, narrow alley. In the native quarters of the town, Bonda knocks softly at a door. Once. Twice.
I'm sorry, kind of.
Dunton, he go tomorrow to village of White Jungle Queen, then to Gorilla Country.
Oh wait. Oh, I think you actually. I think it was the. I think it was the one at the far left there first.
Oh, yeah. What did they do? Okay, well, that's you.
Oh, okay. Bonda, come in. Hurry, you fool. Do you want us to be seen? Did you get the information?
Dunton, he
Ah,
go tomorrow to village of White Jungle Queen, then to Gorilla Country.
Good. His stop at the village will give me plenty of time to contact the Wasanzi chief. I'll let Dunton capture the gorilla, then I'll steal it and collect.
3 weeks later, a small safari pushes over the Serengeti Plains to the east of Sheena's village.
Hmm. Was I done or were you?
I have no. Oh, I was. I didn't know if that was him. Someone's coming this way, Suleiman. By Jove, I believe it. Yes, it's Bob. Good old
I
Bob.
guess we're both a little off tonight, huh?
Well, it's no, they're just generic men. You know, it's hard to tell who's who.
Yeah. Look, Bob, there's a safari. Yeah, yes, and that's Kirk, all right. Hi, Kirk. You old hoss. You old hoss thief. I haven't seen you since graduating. Okay, now hoss. Hoss, I think, is just kind of a slang for like horse, I believe.
Yep.
Or big creature.
Yep. You old rascal, you're a sight for sore eyes.
Down the lower right there.
Oh. Who's talking where? Oh, okay. Say, who's that? Come on, tell me the secret.
I forgot. You've never met Sheena. This is Kirk Dutton. Kirk Dutton? But Bob, you said he was an old dog. He looks very young to me.
Oh, good old Sheena.
Oh boy.
He
Did
said
you
that.
say?
Always giving me a big build-up, eh, chum? Well, the lady seems to appreciate me. But come, we've got a big job ahead. Meanwhile, Ali Rash, the thief, follows a back trail to the fierce Wasambi village.
Go to the Wasanzi chief. I give much gold if he will help me get the gorilla from Dutton. Yeah, the way they're doing these dialogue boxes is a little funky.
Yeah, it's crazy. And you know, everybody's got their face covered up, so I can't tell who's who.
Tell him I need 30 warriors now. Go.
Yes, Buana. A short distance to the north, Kirk Safari cuts a path through the thick brush.
This is the heart of the gorilla country. Have the men dig a large pit.
But there's no sign of them.
By noon, you shall have your Ngagi. They're hiding in the trees now. Better listen to her, Kirk. Sheena's knowledge of the jungle is uncanny.
Right. I'll start the pit. Two hours and several backaches later, a yawning pit is completed.
Now we cover it.
With the pit hidden by leaves and a long vine hanging over it, the trap is ready. Sheena climbs up into the trees. Stealthily creeping behind a huge bull ape, she hurls a coconut at his head. Coconuts which don't grow in Africa, but we'll just skip that.
Well, I know you probably haven't been able to watch a lot of the other shows that we're doing on Sundays, but particularly Metal and I have talked a lot about that with these leaps in logic.
Enraged, the ape whirls around, bellowing and pounding his brawny chest. Teasingly, Sheena leaps lightly to a vine and swings safely to the ground. With murder in his heart, Nagagi grabs another vine and pursues the laughing girl.
Again, these boxes are just funky.
Yeah.
That's it. Chase me. This way. That's right. My, but you're a sorehead.
Screaming his hate, the gorilla makes a wild lunge for the jungle queen, but she leaps for another vine. As Sheena swings up and away, the great ape drops through the flimsy covering into the pit trap. Wonderful, wonderful. You're a marvel, Sheena.
Huh. This isn't anything you should see her. This isn't anything. You should see her fight a lion or a cheetah. There's a real marvel for you. Oh, this Bob, always exaggerating.
To get Nagagi in condition for removal, Kirk has his men hold a blanket over the hole. It is doused with ether. All right, let's go. As the blanket settles over the bewildered animal, the anesthesia quickly takes effect. Peacefully, asleep, the ape crumples to the earth. Kirk leaps into the pit. Keep that rifle aimed at his forehead. All right, send down the rope. Oh! Chanting nervously, the porters lock the ape in a strong cage. Alone, this job would have taken me weeks. Well, we may as well start back. Suddenly, yelling crazily, the band of fierce Wazanzis attack. Stunned by the shock, Tina, Bob, and Kirk are taken prisoner. Some of the porters escape. Chained together, the whites follow their captors while the captive porters carry the ape. A day later, captives and ape reach the Wasanzi settlement.
Your men have done well. You will get your reward. Keep them prisoners for at least a moon's journey through the sky. Then do what you like with them. If you kill them, don't leave any evidence.
Their bonds removed, the three are thrown into a sturdy hut and locked in.
Oh,
Bob.
yeah, that's Bob. Yeah, the fools. They put the cage beside a fire.
The yapping of two mangy curs as they nip at the gorilla infuriates the ape, and he roars with rage. Pounding his cavernous chest, the ape snatches at the snapping hound. To escape the huge paw, one of the dogs dashes through the fire, scattering embers and tossing a flaming stick next to the cage. This is called Deus Ex Machina. Quickly, the dry leather lashes of the cage catch fire. Maddened by smoke, Nagagi shakes the loosened bars. The cage splits open. Terrified natives scatter like leaves at the sight of the gorilla.
What is it? What's the matter?
Before he knows what is happening, 600 pounds of fury grab Ali Rash in a murderous grip.
Yow!
With his nostrils distended in hate, Nagagi seeks new victims to satisfy his lust.
I'm gonna step away from the camera for just a quick moment to turn on the lights in here.
Sure, leave me alone with the lusting gorilla.
Well, there's a YouTube user here who's saying hi. Hello. Hope you are enjoying the show thus far. Just
He likes Loki.
yeah, just give me a sec. I'll be right back. Yeah, we've been kind of overcast, rainy weather like today, so um
Yeah, we're
basically
getting
that's
nothing but
why I
rain
needed
all
to
day
turn on the
too.
light. What was that?
We're getting nothing but rain all day today too.
Yeah. Well, whoever the YouTube user is, welcome to the show. I hope you're enjoying it. Hopefully, we'll find out who you are soon enough. Well, I just don't have to just simply call you YouTube user. Anyways, um, let's continue on with the story, of course. Oh, there's even one little down there. Bob, look, he's coming over here. He's breaking down the door. Our only chance is to rush him.
Tossing aside the broken barrier, the ape stamps in.
Hit him low till hit him high. Till him hit. I'll hit him low. I'll hit him high. Okay.
Bravely, the two men dive at the beast, hoping to knock him down. But with one sweep, he lifts them high in the air. Holding the men aloft like playthings, Nagagi sends them crashing to the floor. Slowly, he turns his menacing glare on Sheena. He reaches forward. Dodging agilely, Sheena ducks the vicious swipe. Like a tigress, she hurls herself on his back. With a firm leg held over his shoulders, Sheena pummels the beast unmercifully.
Look at that. That's quite a scene, isn't it?
She's got him in a chokehold. Before Nagagi can break the hold, Bob comes to and unlooses a blow that knocks Ape and Sheena somersaulting to the floor.
She's in professional wrestling. What she might be inadvertently doing to the ape is what they would call. Well, nowadays they call it a poison rana. It's like basically a reverse Hurricane Rana, a reverse Frankensteiner, basically. When you do it like a vertical head scissors and then flip, basically roll back, flipping your opponent in that direction. Whew. You've knocked him out. You've knocked him cold. I got the idea from Frank Buck. He did the same thing. We must get away from here. Quickly. Ngagi will soon recover. I guess. Listen, someone's coming.
Sounds like Suleiman. I was right. Wonder where he got all the men.
When Wasanzi capture you, I go to my village. Get men, come help.
Good. Get the ape into the cage. A few minutes later, the safari heads for the deep jungle. 2 days later,
We say goodbye here, Kirk. I hope we'll meet again.
goodbye and thank you. Several weeks later, Kirk Dunton paces the piazza of his hotel.
Kirk, for mercy's sake, sit down. Ever since you returned, you you act like a schoolboy in love.
Frankly, Karen, I feel like one. I've got to see her again. I'm going back.
Oops, I didn't realize that was a woman. Oh, well, this time I'd like to see Bob, so I'm going along. I'm going along too. After all, we were once sweethearts, and who can tell? So maybe she was a sweetheart. Oh boy.
Try and steal her away from Sheena. Okay. More exciting adventures of Sheena await you in the next issue.
All right, so now we're done with the first story of the evening. Done with the first story of the evening here. So overall impressions.
Wasn't much going on, really. Let's go hunt a gorilla. Oh, we got captured. Hey, the gorilla's loose.
Yeah.
There were events, but there wasn't like there wasn't a big problem to solve here.
Well, I mean, it was it was a pretty basic storyline. As you said, track down gorilla, have a competing hunter trap you, and then pretty basic in terms of structure there. As you said, aside from maybe the leap in logic, as it were, the thing that you pointed out about the coconuts not being in the African jungle, not really much can be said about the story, huh?
Not really, not to me.
All right. Well, anyways, friendly reminder to everybody, of course, you guys can help out by liking and sharing the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people to engage. That'd be appreciated. Also, if anything grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions, and I'll try to answer the questions the best of my ability. I just realized something. RJ, do you think that the YouTube user might actually be Carrie?
Might be.
All right. It just dawned on me that might have been who it is. Just now dawned on me that might have been who it is. But anyways, all right. So we'll get ready to move on to the next story then, which is Weird Tales of the Supernatural with Stuart Taylor. So we'll go down to there. Peter Puck. Lightning. Bobby. The tech story of the Ape Master. Here we go. Well, okay. You're the narrator.
Stuart Taylor in Weird Stories of the Supernatural by Carl Davis.
Actually, I believe that might be Kurt Davis.
That could be. Definitely looks like a T. A quiet evening at home begins the long-sought rest for the time adventurers, or Hayward and Stuart Taylor. What? Dr. Hayward and Stuart Taylor.
Yeah, a little problem with the lettering there, huh?
Yeah, just a tiny bit. But Stuart suddenly looks up with excitement.
Hey, Doc, this guy Alexander sure knew what adventure was. I've got an idea.
Ancient Greece, Alexander the Great.
Listen, Dr. Hayward, just think, your machine could take us right into the midst of the most thrilling conquest of history.
But, Stuart, we really need a rest. It does sound like a good idea. I wonder.
Why we'll discover things historians never knew.
So preparation begins for the journey back to the days of Alexander the Great, colorful Macedonian conqueror.
I think it would be nice for Alexander to get a glimpse of the modern woman.
Oh no, Laura. This trip is too dangerous for you. I'm sorry, Laura, but we don't know what trouble we may run into.
You can't argue with a woman. You might as well let her come along.
All right, Laura, we've decided you may come along on this trip.
I think. Oh, darling, that's great.
The time machine flares and the trio is on its way. The year 330 BC. Alexander the Great rolls by through cheering throngs as the three-time explorers look on. Suddenly, a guard cries a warning.
No, Persian spies.
As the guards fall upon them, the three-time explorers dash for safety. But they are caught and thrown in prison by the fierce Greek guards.
But you're mistaken. Oh, actually, I think that should have been you, and then
I think it is him. But you're mistaken.
We're not Persians.
Dodging the dangerous swords, Dr. Hayward and Stewart use some modern boxing tactics on the surprised guards. With his powerful disintegrator ray, Stewart easily cuts a way out of the prison, but... Wait a second. Did they stagger us again?
Yeah, they did. They've seen us, Stewart. Stop, spies!
Alexander calls in anger.
Guards! What's all the noise about, guards?
Stuart Taylor has an amazing adventure in the land of ancient Egypt in the next issue of Jungle Comics. Of course, we haven't finished this one yet, so why are you advertising?
Don't know. Something screwy is obviously going on with him.
Look at that powerful bicep. Perfectly framing the three-time explorers in a James Bond-esque mise en scène. Dr. Haywood explains the presence to the Emperor.
But how did you get out of my prison?
With our disintegrator ray. Show him how it works, Stuart.
My apologies for your crude reception. Honored guest, I hope you will accompany me on my next conquest. Your health in rare Macedonian your health in rare Macedonian wine. Now here's something that even by today's standards, is probably considered a no-no. If you're a time traveler, you don't necessarily want to reveal the fact that you're a time traveler.
And if you go back to ancient Greece, you don't wear the slave Leia costume.
You don't what?
You don't wear the slave Leia costume when you go back to ancient Greece.
The slave Leia costume?
Yeah. She lost the dress. She's wearing basically a bikini top and.
Oh boy.
Emperor, a great army is marching toward our gates. An army of women. Ho, ho, ho. As the men rush to prepare for battle, Laura remains behind in the throne room.
Women, huh? Look at them go.
Let me just lounge back on this armchair. Ah, lurking in the folds of a heavy drapery, an old dirty man watches Laura as she sits alone.
You added that dirty part, obviously.
It was obvious. It was patently there. As Laura waits in Alexander's throne room, an Amazon spy beckons to a pair of the feminine warriors.
Come along, sister. Our queen won't stand for any competition with Alex. But I'm not Alex's girl. I'm quiet.
Quiet.
Oh.
That's the old man. Quiet. At the front.
I can't really fight these lovely invaders. Their queen, that is a him, so we'll just frighten them a little.
Can't hit a girl. I'm Alexander the Great. But a sudden surprise attack proves that the girls are not easily scared.
Who's afraid of the big bad man? I almost wanted to go in strong on that one, because considering I've been watching a lot of classic cartoons, like Golden Age cartoons lately, it reminds me of who's afraid of the big bad wolf? The big bad wolf. Alexander, where is he? Alec, don't worry. I've got him well in hand.
Oh, she's a big girl.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Laura has been led to the magnificent palace of the beautiful Amazon Queen.
But I tell you, I come from the 20th century. I'm Stuart Taylor's fiancé. Beautiful, but a little unbalanced. I'm surprised at Alex. Oh boy.
Just then, Stuart is thrust into the hall.
Who is this handsome young man? My fiancé. And don't you forget it. Oh boy. Cat fight.
Yep, here it comes.
So you're the queen that's causing all this trouble. I thought modern women were hard to handle. How strong he is too. Now you're going to Alexander. Oh yeah, he just threw up over his shoulder there.
Yep, just picked her up.
And he'll teach you. He'll teach you who's master, man or woman. Oh boy. Can you just hear the modern cries right now? Looking back on this story.
Yeah, you're on your own here, time traveler man, Stuart. The massive building crashes down as the columns crumble under Stuart's ray. Oh, Lord have mercy.
But I'll begin by disciplining right here. Oh boy. Oh boy. Look, Stuart. Why you? Oh boy. He put her over his knee. Oh God.
Yes, he did.
Oh,
what kind of comic book is this?
An old-fashioned one.
Closely pursued by the Amazons after kidnapping their queen, Stuart, Laura, and Dr. Hayward run through the huge forest.
We're trapped on all sides.
Well, yeah, you give it to one, they all want it. There is a terrific clash as the surrounding forces close in. Fighting furiously, Stuart fends off the women warriors, but the queen escapes. Seizing a knife, she is about to stab Stuart when Laura catches her wrist. Meanwhile, Dr. Hayward is overcome by the sheer force of numbers, which would be 2. Suddenly,
But he is a little bit older though. So I mean,
oh, I know.
Did you say suddenly already?
He said suddenly.
Huh. Stop! You're all my prisoners. My troops have you completely surrounded. Don't try and escape.
It's still Alex.
That's okay. And now, Your Majesty, listen to me. This is a useless and foolish war. These strangers are guests from the 20th century. So they went to war over, I guess, the Amazon Queen's jealousy.
I guess.
They're here on a peaceful mission and are leaving soon. Very well. Let them depart in peace.
An hour later, they bid farewell. They press the buttons of their time belts and are back home in a few moments.
Well, that ends that adventure.
Stuart Taylor meets with new adventures next month.
All right. So, overall impressions of that story?
Wow. I don't know. Jumbo Comics seems like they're just trying to fill space. We went back. We got captured. He told us to let him go. They did. We came home.
The thing is, though, is that Fiction House did run. I mean, like Jumbo Comics, Fight Comics, Jungle Comics, and it's all had pretty lengthy runs through the well into the 40s, maybe even early 50s, I believe. So,
Oh yeah.
you know, of course, with Sheena and Stuart Taylor, those are, I think, two of the more popular features, obviously. So, I guess you turning off your camera helped the echo feedback situation. I guess
It saves on my bandwidth.
All right. So, anyways, well, I guess we can now get ready to move on. Anything more you want to say about this story before we move on?
No, let's move on.
All right. So we'll head next over to Fight Comics, and we'll go to K.O. Kirby next. All right. So now Fight Comics next. That one we go down to number 7, of course. Now we're gonna go all. Let's see. Well, we'll kind of go down as we head down to. You want to read the cover here?
Fight Comics, July, number 7. Dr. Dynamite featuring K.O. Kirby, also Spy Fighter, Kinks Mason, Shark Brody rescues a shipwrecked girl, and Power Man in Blood Money.
Sheriff Brody. And then there's, of course, Spy Fighter. The wonderful thing about these comics was they were pretty diverse in terms of their storytelling. You got Luis, Angel Firpo, the Wild Bull of Pampas. And here's Chip Collins. What do you think of the art here, RJ?
The art here is a little bit better than the last book.
Yeah.
Characters look different, and they can, draw animals.
Spencer Steele. Kings Mason. Slug Nutty Sam. Big Red McLean. Warren of the Jungle.
Book.
Strut Warren. Here we go. K.O. Kirby. You want to do this?
Sure. K.O. Kirby by Chuck Walker. Hi. Oh wait. There's.
Oh yeah. I just saw it. Go ahead.
Yeah. K.O.'s training camp is located in the wilderness of the Minnesota trapping country, where men are born to battle the elements, the beasts, and sometimes each other. Men of tough timber, these Northwoods men.
Hi, Mary. Got the home fires burning? Well, you've been here 2 weeks. Do you like it? It's so nice and quiet.
Mary and her dad drive K.O. to his camp.
I'm going to like it here. No excitement, just peace and calm.
K.O. is up at the crack of dawn.
I'll have a nice breakfast for you when you get back from your road work.
Suddenly, the sharp bark of a 45 dispels, with 2 L's, the quiet of the serene countryside. K.O. dashes into the brush.
Say, what the...
Who? Say, what are you doing here? Hey, I know you. You're Kirby, the heavyweight champ. Champ and no champ, mind your own business. This gun shoots pellets that even kill champs. The less I see of you, the better. And without waiting for a reply, he vanishes into the bushes like Homer Simpson.
This isn't like a likely place for target practice. Wonder what he was shooting at.
K.O. begins to scour the brush.
A man wounded.
Isn't satisfied with emptying my traps. So,
Pretty badly hurt. I mentioned a fur thief and crooked trader called Bull. Description fits the guy I ran into. I think I'll meet him again.
Later, in KO's cabin, when the wounded man is revived, he relates his story. I was trying to guard my beaver traps when he shot me in the back. The bull steals our pelts. He and his men browbeat the small trappers of this county.
Hmm.
We can't prove a thing to the authorities, and if we don't get help of some sort, we'll be forced to leave this county, which our ancestors were the first to settle.
Well, I'll help. Well, I'll help as much as I can.
Don't be a fool, KO. This is none of your business. You'd better.
I'm sorry, Manny. I'll make it my business. One man shouldn't rule over another with a gun.
That night, the trapper, having recovered sufficiently to lead KO to his traps, sets out with the champ. Bull's men are probably not bad at heart, but they fear him, so they do his bidding.
In other words, if he were showed up for the bully he is, they'd leave him.
The two reach the traps. Good. We'll leave this fur in the trap and conceal ourselves in the brush. Oh, wait, that wasn't.
Yeah, that
your
was, I
guy.
think, me.
Yeah, okay.
Good. We'll leave this fur in the trap and conceal ourselves in the brush. Ah, here comes the rats after the cheese now.
Kirby breaks out of the brush. The thieves find a tornado in their midst.
Swine, robbing a poor man. This was coming to you a long time. When you get back to Bull, tell him the next time we meet, one of us will be badly damaged. Savvy?
The thieves Oh, yeah, sorry. Skip the word. The thieves
Yeah.
scamper off like a pair of frightened rabbits. In the bull's cabin,
The
no one
boy.
is scared of anyone, not even the champ. Suddenly, the two beaten thieves rush in.
We just bumped into Kirby. Yeah, you're
shellacking. Okay, you got it.
Yeah, you're in for a good shellacking the next time he sees you.
Hey, you can't talk to me like that. I can beat anybody. See? I'm too busy now to bother with that chump. But I'll think of a way to... I got a way to fix Kirby. His girl lives at his camp, and... The following morning, Kirby is training very diligently.
This is what the bull will get when I lay hands on him.
His manager still protests. Hey, I said before you should not provoke trouble with Bull. His efforts are in vain. Oh, what's the use? I can't drive sense into his head. Like a terrified hare, Manny Why is he bolting out of the house? What happened? Something happened. Oh, never mind. KO! Mary, she's gone. I know she didn't leave the house. Well, she did because she's not there.
Did you search her room?
In Mary's room,
A man's tracks leading to the open window. I'm gonna follow these footprints.
in the woods, KO is interrupted by a shrill voice.
Help! 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 He's tied to the limb and that mountain lion.
Instantly, KO picks up a rock and tosses it. 'Quick, KO! 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 KO
You had a narrow squeeze. It was by sheer luck that I brained that cat. Who tied you up here? Oh, because I refused to be up a trapper for squawking when his furs were stolen. Lead me to his camp. I want to see him.
Okay. KO bursts into Bull's camp.
All right, big shot. What did you do with Mary?
It won't do you no good to get tough, Kirby. I'm gonna hold Mary until you leave this county. Grab him, boys. We'll show this champ up. Kirby is led to the next room.
KO.
This is my round, Kirby. You go peacefully, or do I have to knock her off?
Okay, Bull. You win. I'm going to pack, but if one hair on her head is harmed, this earth will be too small for both of us.
Don't worry, she'll get on the same train you take. KO tells Manny to pack. You say Mary got on the same train.
Yeah, but when we leave Oklo, you and Mary get off at the first stop. I'm getting off sooner.
In silence, the two reach the railroad station. I hear the train's whistle, but I don't see Mary. But as the train is about to pull out, there's your girl, champ. And now, stay out of my territory. The bull gloatingly waves goodbye. Is hoping we never meet again.
Here's hoping we will.
As the train rounds a bend, KO hops down the gravel bank.
Bull can't be far from the station yet.
The crook is soon overtaken. What the? I saw you get on that train.
You did. You must have been. You did? You must have been dreaming, Bull.
Get him, men.
Sorry to do this, fellas. Nothing personal.
KO is quickly out of their reach in a tree.
Listen, man, I know that you're with Bull because he's got you scared. Well, if he's so tough, why won't he fight me?
Don't listen to him, boys. But they begin to see logic in the champ's arguments.
If you let this man bully you, you'll never amount to more than you do now. I'm coming down, boys, to prove that Bull can be beaten.
The Perthy finds himself deserted.
Okay, Bull, you brag that you can fight. I'm sorry. Okay, Bull, you bragged that you can fight me. Here's your chance.
All right. What are we waiting for?
What do you think the color of his pants are about this point?
Oh yeah, he's not in a good place.
And I'm sure there's quite a strong smell coming from them too, right?
Oh yeah. A clearing is made, and the two men stripped to the waist step into it. As the battle begins, KO tantalizes his enemy with peppery lefts and rights.
How do you like being on the receiving end for a change?
Maddened, the burly crook throws caution to the winds. Why, you...
Uh-oh, here it comes. Greetings, Gates. Why the rush?
The thief's toes part with the ground. Next,
All right,
he
he
is
just
hoisted off terra
uppercuts him
firma.
and sends him flying in the air.
Yep. Next, he is hoisted off terra firma on a mule kick embodied in the champ's left.
That's about all you can take.
Without even waiting to witness the bull's hasty departure from the county, Kirby leaves to rejoin Mary and his manager.
Well, we can go back to Oklo. Bull is gone for good. You were grand, KO.
The next day, KO proceeds with his training.
Thanks to him, Olaf, we'll be able to trap again.
What a champ. Kirby slugs it out with a tough murder gang in the next issue of Fight.
All right, so we're done with that one. Overall impressions.
More interesting, I suppose. I mean, it's kind of a weird juxtaposition that you got a guy who's in town to be a boxer fighting with fur trappers.
Yeah. Well, I think KO Kirby is primarily a boxer, but he finds himself in these kind of adventures throughout.
Yeah,
his
it's
series.
just a juxtaposition.
But then we know of a few boxers who have become heroes, in some cases even superheroes, right?
Oh yeah, like Wildcat.
Wildcat Ted Grant, the Golden Age Adam Al Pratt's another one, right?
Yep.
So, alrighty then. So we'll get ready to move on to the We're past the hour mark, so we're, I think, making good time. So now we'll move on to the next story in Jungle Comics, where we'll do Phantoma. So overall, how are you liking the story thus far?
Haven't had anything in the way of superheroes tonight. It's all been your everyday man.
Well, yeah, well, Fiction House. I don't think. Well, maybe Power Man was one, but I don't think they really had a whole lot of like superheroes per se. They had more.
No.
I think Sheena was the star of the company. We'll do Phantoma over in Jungle Comics. As soon as I can get back up towards the top here. There we go. Yeah, apparently there are a few Jungle Comics out there.
Just a few. They got up their mileage out of Sheena.
Well, I don't think at this point Jungle Comics was actually featuring Sheena yet. It might have at some point, but along with Jumbo Comics. You want to read that, narrator?
Jungle Comics, number 7, July, number 7. Featuring Simba, King of the Beasts, and Taboo, Jungle Wizard. Also, Kanga, Jungle Lord in Live Sacrifice, and Captain Terry Thunder, Wambi, Phantoma, the Red Panther.
I guess we're both a little sluggish tonight.
I was up most of the night, so I'm gonna get to bed early tonight. I hope.
Red Panther.
Not looking that way though.
Well, we're about halfway. Well, yeah, 3 of the 5 stories, so we're like halfway through at least, or just over halfway through. We're gonna do this one and Red Comet, and they have. If you notice, they have page count wise, they have been kind of decreasing. We start. You know how I go. I usually start with the stories with the most pages, and then just kind of go down. So. Here we go.
Mystery Woman of the Jungle, Phantoma, by Barclay Flagg. Phantoma, the most remarkable woman ever known, has such a keen insight that she can see and know all that happens in the jungle. She devotes her strange powers to protecting the creatures of Jungle Land.
Wouldn't it be fun if Phantoma and Sheena got together for an adventure?
It could be, but I'm just like, really? Jungle Land? Is that like a section of Disney World? And now entering Jungle Land.
Well, again, we know this is still early on, and this is still kind of a time when they're probably just throwing stuff on the wall and seeing what stuck.
Exactly. She has discovered a plot by crooks to enslave the inhabitants of a native village.
They are diamond mine robbers.
She watches the crooks approach and hears them discuss their plans. We'll surround the village and capture the natives at the point of guns. The point of guns. Not at gunpoint, but at the point of guns. Somebody's getting paid by the word. Phantoma's thoughts detecting power. Oh, wait a second. Phantoma's thought detecting power enables her to understand.
They're going to use the natives to work the diamond mine they're robbing.
The crooks have now surrounded the quiet village. Suddenly, they rush upon the surprised natives.
At least with this one, the dialogue boxes are lining up a bit more now.
At the top of the page, yeah, at the top of each box, which is where they should be. Some of the natives try to flee and are shot down in their tracks. The rest surrender.
We want only the men.
Well, that seems just a little. Okay, well, be that way then. They are soon herded together and driven away. They are marched down a trail through the heart of the jungle.
A husky bunch. We ought to get a lot of work out of them.
They reach the edge of the Grand Chasm with the diamond mine below.
We must get these stones out fast, or we'll be discovered.
As they reach the mine, each native is given a job to do, and then driven to work under the lash of the whip. In the terrific heat of the chasm, they are forced to labor at their top speed to get out of the diamond to get out the diamonds. Meanwhile, in the central offices of the real owners of the mine, a conference takes place.
Our mine is fully equipped for operation. We should start work before some diamond thieves rob us.
Sure.
Too late now.
Yep. Yes, let's send men and provisions at once.
We'll use our air transports.
Soon, from the rim of the chasm appear several company planes. The crooks rave.
Look, the owners. We must get to our anti-aircraft gun.
As the planes come near,
That finishes them. Now we can go on with our work.
but the natives, having seen a chance to escape, disappear back into the jungle.
We must run them down. Load them with lead if they don't stop. Yeah, well, what's the point then? Because I mean, if you're planning on using them as slave labor, there, if you gun them down, then you're gonna have to go. You're gonna have to do the labor yourself now.
Yeah, exactly. Phantoma suddenly appears above the enraged crooks.
Stop, you murderers! Who is she?
Oh, I thought I was the guy in the white. But
well, I mean, you can be both of them. I've been doing them because I wasn't sure, but if you want to do them, go for it.
It's hard to tell them all apart. You know, blast her to shreds!
Bang, bang, bang! I guess maybe I should let you do that, but you cannot harm Phantoma.
Phantoma changes form.
Now you shall feel the secret power of the jungle. Oh, look at her face! Look at her face right there.
That's her real superpower, is that she puts on the devil face. Never mind her. Let's get those natives back. But the swift natives have plunged deep into the jungle and are safe. As the crooks go in pursuit, a flash blinds them.
What's that?
Phantoma suddenly whisks them into the air.
You are going to the secret pit of jungle horrors. Oh, wow.
Secret things she gives them.
Huh?
She got a lot of secret things she gives them. You will learn the secret power of the jungle. I'm taking you to the secret pit of horrors. Down into the pit they sail.
Holy smoke!
She deposits them on the ground.
I shall transform you into one man.
What? No, don't do that.
Now, you are all one. A lonely thief, a murderer in the pit of horrors. These creatures are of an unfound world, shall be your masters. Oh my lord!
Yeah, I think they'd probably been happier if said, we could, if we're gonna, enslave this person, you could have given us 4. We'd have got 4 times the labor out of this, and I think we could handle them. They're just little human beings. Phantoma suddenly disappears.
I'm in a tough spot now. There's a trail. It may lead me out of here.
He makes a dash for the trail. His strange masters do not try to stop him.
I'll soon be out of here.
But As he makes a turn, he finds it is a dead-end trail.
Good Lord!
One of the strange creatures gives the command.
Gruko!
And Grucko shows up. Suddenly, from behind the prisoner, appears a gigantic paw. The man, in his fright, loses his balance.
Oh!
Just as he is about to crash, a small whirlwind appears and breaks his fall. Lucky for him. The wind blows him into a cave. He soon finds himself in the middle of the White Cobra Cavern.
This is the end of me.
Phantoma appears again.
In civilization, murderers die by electricity, or by gas, or by hanging. But in the jungle, they die by the forces of nature.
The deadly cobras close in.
Oh! Oh! Oh!
After they strike, Phantoma whisks him out of the cave. She suspends him in the air. One of the masters of the pit gives an order.
Moya!
A great claw comes out of the side of the pit. The body of the man is seized and drawn into the rocky wall to disappear forever. We're just finding ways to torture this guy, okay?
Well, look at
These
that!
poor
Look
guys
at
have
how
done
that
that.
hand is holding him too. That one extended finger with that claw on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got like three fingers. Well, he's got a thumb, two normal sized fingers, and like one hook for a finger. Quite a design there.
Ah. Meanwhile, the jungle has become normal, and the native village is at peace. Phantoma returns to her secret observatory. Another thrilling adventure with Phantoma will appear in the next issue.
Overall impressions.
There's no challenge to Phantoma. Phantoma is basically just the vengeful god who looks down and says, okay, I'm going to do this to you now. Now I'm going to do this to you. Now I'm going to do this to you. Okay, now you're dead. I'm going home now.
Well, maybe,
no one ever,
maybe part of
the
story they thought was just seeing the different ways that somebody could be tortured. And kind of funny because she ends up killing four people by merging them into one and then killing them all at once. That was kind of an interesting little tidbit there. All right, so we got one more story we'll go over here.
Okay.
Head over to Planet Comics and be looking at Red Comet. Now that one's a 5-pager that's at the beginning of a book. Well, there you got somebody with superpowers at least, right?
Well, kind of. Like I said, she was just, this goddess that just went around seeing how she could torture this guy.
All right, so the last comment we'll do here is Planet Comics. And here they mark it down as 1944, but it's technically from 1940. It started in 1940, but I don't know. That's because I think what happened was it started in 1940, stopped for a while, and it started up again in 44. So that might have been the. Anyways.
Weird Adventures on Other Worlds, the universe of the future. Planet Comics, number 7, July. Featuring Invasions of the Cyclopsmen of Mars, featuring Flint Baker. Prehistoric Beasts of Pluto from Spurt Hammond. Revolt of the Rockmen by Buzz Crandall. The Red Comet, Pharaoh, Captain Nelson Cole, and Planet Payson.
Really, this one did have a lot more, because a lot of these comics were feature type comics where like Fight Comics is basically supposed to be one that focuses on like boxers or at least tough guy fighters, right? Jungle Comics had more jungle stories in it, and then Planet Comics here was more of a sci-fi interplanetary type comics. But you ready there, RJ?
Yes. Red Comet, the mystery man of space, matches wits with the fierce race of little... What?
Stickers.
The fierce race of little stickers on the planet of the timid giants. A spaceship swerves to a landing on an unexplored planet in outer space. The expedition from Earth busily unloads supplies.
Wonder if this place is inhabited.
The question is soon answered as heads pop up from behind the hills. Ray guns do not kill the giants, but send them racing through the hills.
You're already doing the aliens. I think I'd let you keep doing the aliens.
Eep, eep, eep. But soon they creep back to stare wide-eyed at the little Earthmen. The air resounds with the cries of the frightened explorers, whose weapons are useless.
Help! Help! Help!
Well, if you hadn't shot at them, they'd have been okay. Hearing the cries of distress, the Red Comet speeds to their aid.
We can do nothing against the huge monsters. While they're harmless, they're probably more scared than you are.
The curious giants still gather about the hills.
Watch, I'll show you. Why, look at them run. Get back in those hills.
Ooh, ooh. Now that looks like they traced some photographs there.
Now we'll call them out of hiding. They're really friendly. They're really very friendly. Come out. We won't hurt you.
Here, we're your friends.
Okay. Yeah.
At last they are lured from the cave. Timidly they crawl forth.
They look so sad. Maybe they are.
Great tears roll down the round cheeks.
What's the matter, big fella? Tell us your troubles.
The giant's voice is like the rumble of distant thunder.
What?
Using his amazing magic, the Red Comet shoots up to the same size as the giant.
Now tell me all about it.
It's the stickers. They torment us night and day. We get no rest, and our nerves are shot to pieces. Look out! Here come the cruel beasts now! Ooh!
Oh! And you can see why they're called stickers, can't you?
Yep, they're just sticking you. Reducing himself to the sticker's size, the Red Comet tries to make peace.
We like to tease the big oafs.
They're scared of us.
You can't stop us.
Someone tries to stamp out the stickers, but it does no good. The tiny creatures scatter faster than the eye can see. Suddenly, they attack the girl explorer, who doesn't get a name in the story.
Help. They're hurting me.
Only the red comet can move as quickly as the stickers.
Well, if I can't reason with you, I'll use force.
But with their greater numbers, the stickers overpower him and pin him to the earth.
Uh-huh.
One of the giants watches in horror. I'll stop them. I must do something. Hiding his fear, the giant kneels and swallows the whole sticker army because, you know, things with stingers that hurt your feet are something you definitely want to put in your mouth. Oh, they're jabbing me all the way down. I'm dying. Yeah, wait till they come out, bud.
Oh God! What a story for some of us older folks to have to read through, right? The thought,
Oh, yeah.
fucking thought, considering what we're probably dealing with at this point in our lives, right?
Absolutely.
I've got to help him quickly.
A few magic gestures, and the red comet's ship is reduced to miniature size. The ship zooms about the giant's head. The red comet heads straight for the cavernous mouth. Oh, he's got a fantastic journey, the guys. Okay. Stopping in the giant's digestive tract, the red comet whips out his ray gun and aims at the stickers.
Up we go before he crushes my ship.
Oh, hee hee hee.
You were very brave. Yeah, these giants seem almost childlike in a way.
Yeah, they do, like baby Huey. Or Stumbo. To complete the job, the red comet sprays the giant's cave with poison so that no sticker will ever enter it again. Oh, he flea bombed it. Okay.
Well,
goodbye.
Okay. Here's the thing I want to know though. That poison, is that just a poison that just affects the stickers, or what's going to happen when the giants go in there?
Well, apparently it just affects the stickers because, you know, they're waving goodbye. Now we have nothing to fear. These giants have nothing to fear, as you just heard. But the next adventure of the Red Comet holds terror and peril enough to fill the universe.
All right, then. So that was the last story that I was planning on reading tonight. Overall impressions of that last story, RJ.
That one was more interesting. That's probably the second best story of the night.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that part in a moment. But any more comments on that before we move on to the next aspect here or next part here?
No. I mean, this time the hero at least had things that he had to overcome. So, you know, they had him on the ropes at one point. Oh, they got him down, but you know, he got back up like heroes do.
All right. So, with that being said, well, what did you think of the art? Hey, Rick. Rick is here. Hey, Rick. Thanks for dropping in. All right. Well, with so we went through 5 features tonight. Of the 5 features, which one would you say you liked the best, and your reasons why?
Probably would have to be Red Comet, because you know it was a story that had all the parts to it. You know, there was a problem, the hero shows up, the hero has problems solving it. You have an unlikely hero stepping in who's inspired to act. It had all the elements of a good hero story.
All right. And with that being said, anything more you want to say about that before I
No, that pretty much covered it. I mean, it was, was what it was, but it
pretty
at
simplistic
least it made the
overall.
attempt. The attempt was
Okay,
made.
well, with that being said, of the four remaining stories, which one would you say you liked the least, and your reasons for it?
I think the one I like the least has got to be Phantoma. Because like I said, there's no story there. It's she's this is a Phantoma story about slavers is like a story about Dr. Manhattan stopping a pickpocket. It's there's such an imbalance of power there, and all she's there doing is just punishing them for doing something bad, and she just keeps finding. And now I'm going to punish you this way, and now I'm going to punish you this way, and now you're going to die.
Yeah, I mean, to a way, it's kind of funny, but it almost seems like, for the most part, these stories, in terms of their writing, was pretty simplistic. Wouldn't you say?
Oh yeah, very simplistic.
Overall, it's pretty simplistic storytelling. Not really a huge, deep plot in there. They were just kind of trying to put something out. Didn't seem like they were putting in much effort, huh?
Yeah, and they didn't even have much of a plot. Like I said, it was just it was a torture story. At least K. The story with KO was there's a bad guy in town. He doesn't have anything to do with boxing, but I'm here, so I'll take care of it.
Yeah, in fact, if you remember in that particular story, the manager was saying, "Hey, just leave it alone. It's none of our business." And then he goes,
"Yeah,
I'm making it my business." So, all right. So, you enjoy yourself tonight?
Always do. We've had better stories, but it was still a fun time. So,
all right. Well, what we're going to do now is we're going to move on to the last part of the show before we wrap things up, of course. So today is Sunday, May the 4th, 2025. So let's take a look back at this weekend in Nietzsche history.
History.
So let me just.
We've got to get you a sound effect for that.
Yeah, something like an echo or something like that, right?
Yeah.
2010 and 1975 and then 1965. All right. So first off, going back to yesterday. All right, wrong thing, Mike. Wrong thing. Going back to yesterday. I'd like to wish a happy 50th birthday to American actress Christina Hendricks. Christina Hendricks. Now, I know she's known more for her live action stuff, but she's actually done a few cartoon voices here. She lent her voice to Gabby in Toy Story 4, among other things. She was Lois Lane in All Star Superman, Officer Jaffe in Scoob, which I believe is one of the more modern stuff. She was Dern in the American Dad episode Gorillas in the Mix, and Unity in the Rick and Morty episode Autoerotic Simulation. So happy 50th birthday to Christina Hendricks. And moving on to the next piece of Nietzsche history, and as one person was born on this day, another passed away on this day in another year. On this date, 15 years ago today. This date, 15 years ago today, back in 2010, professional wrestler and actor Kinji Shibuya, born Bob Shibuya, passed away at the age of 88 on this date, just actually like 13 days, almost 2 weeks before his 89th birthday. I know a lot of people may not know who he is. I think some of you might know him more from his TV work than anything else. But in terms of his professional wrestling career, in 1952, promoter Al Kanasik suggested Shibuya try professional wrestling. He was originally given a heel gimmick of a Japanese bad guy after World War II. He wrestled in the United States and Canada's Stampede Wrestling and All-Star Wrestling. Shibuya credited Vern Gagne for first making him a popular as a villain in 1955. It would have been working in the Midwest territory of the NWA at the time. Shibuya was a freaking tag team partner of Mitsu Arakawa, who was billed as his cousin. In 1957, they held the Minneapolis version of the NWA World Tag Team Champion. Of course, he held many territorial championships, particularly on the West Coast here, West Coast and Midwest part. Let's see. Shibuya was born in Utah and raised in California with his 4 brothers. He attended Belmont High School in Los Angeles. After college, Shibuya played semi-professionally with the Honolulu Polar Bears and Honolulu Warriors. Shibuya was featured on a This Is Your Life segment on the television show Canvas Cavity, and appeared on the show several times in the 1970s and 1980s. After retiring from wrestling, he also had small acting roles on shows such as Kung Fu, Mr. T and Tina. He also appeared in the films Days of Baudry Ballard and Hamnet. So that's pretty much, again, he on this date back in 2010, professional wrestler and actor Kinji Shibuya passed away at the age of 89. Now, that a lot of his acting stuff came about in the 70s and 80s. So I was thinking there might be at least some people may have remember seeing him on some of that stuff. But anyways, moving on to the next piece of Nietzsche history, if we now move on to today, going back 60 years ago today, on this date 60 years ago. On this date 60 years ago, TCJ's Space Boy Soren premiered in Japan on this date back in 1965. So 60 years ago today, the TCJ anime Space Boy Soren premiered on Japanese television. It was a black and white anime television series created by Kazuya Fukumoto and Yoshikatsu Miyakoshi. The show aired in the United States in 1966 as Zoran Space Boy. The series was released on DVD in 2015. RJ, were you trying to say something there? Or?
Nope, not me.
Okay. Maybe it's that feedback stuff going on. All right, so now we'll move on to the last piece of Nietzsche history here, or Nietzsche history here. We go back 20 years ago today, as on this date, 20 years ago today, in 2005, the 20th and final issue of Fallen Angel from DC Comics went on sale on this date back in 2005. The story was Sacred Cows Part 2, written by Peter A. David, with David Lopez doing the penciling, Fernando Blanco doing the inking, Jared K. Fletcher doing the lettering, and Nathan Iring doing the coloring. Any of those names sound familiar to you?
Well, Peter David certainly does. In fact, this was a series that I believe was all the stories that he meant to do in Supergirl when he had the new Supergirl series where she was not from Krypton. She was kind of from the Pocket Universe, but he had her being portrayed as an Earth Angel. And at some point it got canceled, but he had these stories left over, and he introduced Fallen Angel into the DC universe to just sort of finish that storyline out. So you could probably find a way to connect the storylines from Fallen Angel to where the stories of Supergirl under Peter David's tenure left off.
All right. So with that, I thank everybody for being. Well, before we go, RJ, would you like to do any last minute promotion? Share any links? I think you kind of get to.
No links, but promotions. We're putting books out all the time. We just put out the second volume of the Flair Archives. We also put out the Flair Every Sunday, where Heroic Publishing did the big Sunday comic versions of the Flair story, released once a week. We've got all of those in one hardcover now. We're just now prepping to do She-Bat El Murcielago for Heroic. And we're putting the final touches on Journey by William Messner Loeb. So that will be a big hardcover coming out very soon, which will include artwork from the unpublished issues of Journey War Drums that was canceled before it was able to be completed.
Okay. Well, anything more, or shall we wrap up?
That's it. Let's wrap up.
All right. If you can stick around after the show for just a couple minutes for post-show, that'd be appreciated. So with that, I thank everybody for being here tonight. I hope everybody enjoyed the show. And with that, we'll be back here with more Niche News tomorrow. With Niche News tomorrow. Next Sunday, I'll be joined by, I believe Rick will be joining me next Sunday. We'll be going through Fox. So with that, I thank everybody for being here, and I hope to see everybody back here tomorrow. Bye.